Young and the Restless weekly spoilers. Claire is put to the test. Soon, on Young and the Restless, Claire Newman ends up in a prickly situation when Kyle Abbott decides to test her loyalty. Perhaps, he wants to see if she will let her grandfather, Victor Newman, change her opinion of him. However, when she finds out he's testing her, she will likely be hurt and furious. Meanwhile, Kyle's ex-wife, Summer Newman, is grilled by her brother, Daniel Romalotti. He thinks Summer is jealous of Kyle and Claire. But she shuts that down fast on Young and the Restless. Of course, she's not being truthful because she does want Kyle back. Later, she makes a hard decision about him. So, in a twist, she may decide to let him go. On the other hand, she might decide to fight for him and try to get Claire Newman out of the picture. Y&R Weekly Spoilers. Sally Spectra upset. While Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, faces a challenge with Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, fears history is repeating itself. Coming up, she's uncomfortable with how close Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, is getting to Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. No doubt, she fears he will be pulled back to his ex the same way Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, was when he cheated on her with Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan. Elsewhere, on Young and the Restless, Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, makes a mature move. She agrees to make peace with Victor Newman, Eric Braeden. Later, he pulls some strings to help her. Then, he fills Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc, in on his plan to take down Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. Meanwhile, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, tries to keep things peaceful between Victor and Jack on Young and the Restless. Also, Michael lets his wife, Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Bregman, in on a secret. Elsewhere, Jack and his wife, Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, plot, and Diane takes action. Young and the Restless weekly spoilers. Nate Hastings makes a vow. Later, on Y&R, Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, continues to struggle with his newfound family. His half-brother, Damian Kane, Jermaine Rivers, shows up and surprises him and Amy Lewis, Valerie Pettiford. Chances are, it's not a good surprise because later, Nate makes it his personal mission to protect Amy. Most likely, from Damian. Meanwhile, Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, make a pact. Surely, to keep their past a secret on Young and the Restless. Then, Audra pumps Holden for info, possibly on Damian. However, she might want an update on Tucker McCall, Trevor St. John. Y&R is overflowing with drama. Don't miss a minute to find out if Kyle and Summer push Claire Newman too far on the CBS has never been a town that forgives easily. And for Claire Grace, redemption was never going to come wrapped in a neat bow. Her past, marked by manipulation, secrets, and her connection to Jordan, has been a shadow she can't quite shake. But this week on The Young and the Restless, Claire finds herself facing a test that could either prove how far she's come, or reveal that old wounds still have the power to destroy her. A fresh start, or so she thought. After months of therapy, reflection, and tentative steps toward rebuilding her life, Claire had started to believe she could have a normal existence. Working under the watchful eye of Victoria Newman and Cole Howard, she'd begun to feel a sense of belonging again. She wasn't just Jordan's pawn anymore. She was a young woman trying to make sense of who she was without the lies that had shaped her. But Genoa City is a place where secrets don't stay buried. When Victor Newman decides to quietly look into Claire's activities at Newman Enterprises, hoping to ensure she's truly trustworthy, he uncovers something he didn't expect, a string of irregularities in a recent project proposal that point directly back to her. Was it an honest mistake, or a sign that the young woman everyone wanted to believe in was slipping back into dangerous habits? The accusation. When Victor summons Claire to his office, the air crackles with tension. The Black Knight doesn't waste time with pleasantries. "You've been given an opportunity few ever get," Victor says, his voice low but sharp. "And yet I find myself wondering if I made a mistake." Claire's heart pounds. She knows what he's talking about before he even finishes. A proposal she'd been working on, one meant to expand Newman Media's digital reach, had gone sideways. A competitor had somehow gained access to her plans. It looked bad. Really bad. "I didn't leak anything," she insists, her voice trembling but steady. "You have to believe me." Victor studies her carefully, as if he can see straight into her soul. "Belief has to be earned, young lady. You've had your chance. Now, prove it." And with that, The test begins. Nikki's heartbreak. While Victor handles things his way, Nikki is caught between her maternal instincts and her own trauma. The last time she put her faith in someone connected to Jordan, it nearly cost her life. But she's also seen something in Claire, a deep remorse, a raw vulnerability, that reminds her of her own younger self. "Victor, please," she pleads quietly after the meeting. "Don't crush her spirit. She's already been through enough." But Victor's resolve is unyielding. If she can't handle a little pressure, she doesn't belong in this family, or this business. Nikki knows he's right on some level, but her heart aches for Claire. She watches the young woman retreat into herself, torn between wanting to help and fearing that too much kindness might enable a relapse into deception. Meanwhile, Victoria struggles with her own doubts. As a mother, she wants to believe Claire is innocent. As a CEO, she knows she has to protect her company. And as a daughter of Victor Newman, she understands the weight of a test like this. Cole steps in. Of all the people in Claire's corner, Cole Howard is the one who sees her most clearly. He knows how easily guilt can twist someone's sense of self-worth. He's been patient with Claire, guiding her through the emotional labyrinth of reconnecting with her real parents after years of manipulation. When he finds her sitting alone at society, staring blankly at her untouched coffee, he quietly joins her. "You're not your past, Claire," he reminds her softly. "You can't let their doubt define who you are now." She looks up, eyes brimming with unshed tears. "But what if they're right, Dad? What if I mess everything up again?" Cole reaches across the table, taking her hand. "Then you face it. You own it. That's what strength is. Not perfection, but persistence." His words stir something in her. For the first time since Victor's confrontation, she feels a spark of fight ignite within her. The investigation unfolds. Determined to clear her name, Claire throws herself into uncovering how the leak happened. She combs through her files, interviews colleagues, and traces every digital footprint she can find. As she digs deeper, she begins to suspect that someone inside Newman Media may have set her up. Her instincts lead her to a junior analyst with a questionable record, someone who had access to her project but disappeared shortly after the breach. When she brings this evidence to Victor, she expects at least a flicker of approval. But the patriarch remains stone-faced. "Interesting," he says simply. "Let's see if it holds up." Still, Claire can sense that she's begun to shift the tide. Victoria looks at her differently now, not with doubt, but with cautious pride. Even Nikki begins to hope that this might be Claire's true turning point. Jordan's shadow returns. Just as things start to calm, Genoa City is shaken once again. A mysterious letter arrives at Newman Ranch, addressed to Claire. No return address. No explanation. Just her name scrawled in familiar handwriting. When Nikki finds her staring at the envelope, frozen, she knows immediately what's happening. "Jordan," Claire whispers, her voice barely audible. It's as if time stops. The letter's contents aren't revealed, but whatever's inside rattles Claire to her core. All the progress, the trust she's fought so hard to rebuild, suddenly feels fragile again. Victor, ever the strategist, warns her, if Jordan is reaching out, this is part of the test too. Don't let her pull you back into the past. But Claire is terrified. Not of Jordan, but of herself. Of what that letter might awaken inside her. Facing the ultimate test. That night, Claire makes a choice. Instead of running, she brings the letter to Victoria and Cole. She lays it on the table and confesses that part of her wanted to open it in secret, but she didn't. "I don't want secrets anymore," she says, her voice firm. "I want to be someone you can trust." Victoria, tears welling, reaches out to hug her. Cole joins in, a family finally beginning to heal. It's not a perfect moment, but it's real, and for Claire, it's everything she's been fighting for. Victor watches from the doorway, his expression unreadable. After a long pause, he gives a small nod, a silent acknowledgement that perhaps, just perhaps, Claire has passed the test.